And welcome back to Nothing But A Podcast with me, your host, Giles Thomas in the UK. And we're joined by, of course, 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie, how are you, mate? We haven't spoken for a while.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, saying that, I did actually see you, 2 weeks ago in Columbus, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
You were watching I think you were watching some of the female classes, weren't you? And you were sat with a lady. I think it was because you weren't there for RCSS. You were there for your book. So do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. I was mostly at Powerhouse Gym over there, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Selling the books, signing books and stuff. And then we had also on Sunday, so that worked out pretty good. So I don't know, it still worked out real good for me, you know, being there at the show. Even though that the Expo closed down, I couldn't sign there. I sold every single book that I brought.
Did you? So obviously you were signing your new book at the at Powerhouse Gym in downtown Columbus because you were supposed to be signing at the Expo, correct?
Yeah, exactly. But you know, everybody was working out at the gym, so a lot of people showed up there.
Yeah.
So it still worked good for me because I think I brought about 30, about 60, about 45, 50 books somewhere in there.
Okay.
And sold every last one of them.
Oh, fantastic! Fantastic.
Yeah, if I'd have known it's gonna go that well, I'd have brought more, but I didn't think, you know, that many people will still show up after, you know, they canceled everything.
The notifications on my phone, and I had like 115 notifications, and I thought, when I got the first message, I thought I was joking. When did you get the message that the Expo had been cancelled?
Somebody that lived in Columbus saw it on TV.
Oh, really?
And they called me right away and said they canceled the Expo, so I called the people working for the Arnold Classic, and they're like, yeah, we working out the details now. I think it was like Tuesday, the day before. Yeah. The day before the show, it was Tuesday. Like you said, you were on your way. Well, I wasn't scheduled to leave till Wednesday. Okay. So Tuesday afternoon is when I heard, you know, and somebody that lived in Columbus just saw them talking about it on TV. I'm like, that's not true. So I called the Expo, and they said, we are working out the details now. We don't even know we hadn't even finalized it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
they were that it was canceled too at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, 200,000 people that were supposed to be going to an expo that now wasn't happening. I mean, could you imagine what it was like having to make that decision to say, right, the expo was cancelled?
No, I really can't. Yeah, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do in days and times. So you just, sometimes there's nothing else you can do, you know.
Yeah.
So
you were supposed to be at the Expo signing books, and so obviously that completely turned your plans on its head. So then you went to Powerhouse Gym and just started signing there.
Yeah. I just, because I go to Powerhouse Gym every year, just about, and I'll sit up there and just sign, you know, a few autographs here and there, because I always go there and work out and stuff. And, you know, and a lot of times, you know, people will interrupt me when I'm working out, you know, for pictures and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just go here. I'm going to just sit up and just sign and take pictures right here.
Did you get any training? Did you get any training in, Ronnie?
Yeah, I trained every single day I was there.
What time?
Every day I was there. I trained around about, because the show would start about 7, so I would train about 5.
Okay.
And leave about 6. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I saw you
leave about 6 for the show.
I think I saw you you were sat behind me, I think on the Thursday, and you're watching some of I think it was the figure and the classic. How much did you see all the show?
I saw everything, because I got there right before it started, you know. So I saw the whole show.
Okay.
And I didn't, you know, watch every little thing. I think I left a little bit early to get something to eat or whatever.
What did you think of the show?
But I stayed. The show went off pretty good, I think. I think it went off really good, actually. there wasn't a whole lot of people in the audience for the women's show, but the men's show, pretty packed for that.
Yeah. So what did you think of the return of Rami? What did you think of the results? Were you impressed with Dexter? Come on, give us your rundown.
I thought everybody looked about the way they've been looking the last couple years. For me, guys just don't seem to be really that conditioned anymore. And it seems to be setting a trend now that it's a new era and it's a new day. So this is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So everybody seems to be following that same trend. Because I remember back when we competed, everybody was like in real good, hard condition all the time. And you just had to bring it all the time. I mean, you had to take it to another level pretty much. At least I did.
I mean, it was like when you were on the guys who were on the Grand Prix tour, and I mean, you guys were having to travel. I mean, how many shows was it? I mean, I forget how many shows it was in so many days, but having to hold condition, travel, no sleep, competing, tanning, tell us.
It was quite brutal. I remember in one year in 1997, we had 7 shows in 11 days.
7 shows.
That was the most brutal thing I've ever gone through in my whole entire life.
And I remember,
you be in Spain one day, you be in Germany the next, then you be in Italy.
Yeah. And
you got to fly, So it was rough.
Well, I remember that 1 year, 97, when you went from, you were getting 5th and 6th, and then eventually you won at the Russian Grand Prix. And you were probably one of the only guys, because normally the guys would start off at the Olympia and they would steadily get worse and worse as the tour went on. You did it reverse that year. You went from 6th to 1st, so you actually got better, didn't you?
Yeah. Because I had a little talk with my friend Kevin LeBron that was winning every show. Yeah. And he was letting me know what he was doing. And he was doing little tricks. He had some little tricks that he had created for himself that worked out pretty good.
Which he shared.
So I used it that he was used to doing. And that helped me out a lot. That helped me get a whole lot better. Because Kevin was just like, he was in good condition every show. Show after show after show, and like I say, guys going to get worse and worse. But he wasn't. He stayed the same condition. He just got better and better. So I figured he had to be doing something different. So I went to one night, too bad I waited to the last show. I probably could have did a lot better than some of the other shows. But for the last show, I couldn't sleep. The last 3 days, I couldn't sleep at all. It was, like I say, it was a brutal tour. So I'm like, man, I need to do something. I'm tired of getting, like 4th and 5th. And I'm like, I got, 9th at the Olympia that year. And I'm like, this is just like one of the worst years ever. So I need to be different. To find out what these guys that are winning doing. So that's what I did. And it worked out really good, so I won that last show.
Back then, I had a hard time keeping training partners, mainly because of the leg workouts. I trained very hard on legs. Generally, these guys would do good till they went through a leg workout with me, and then, they didn't come back. Ronnie came down here. Obviously, his potential was immediately obvious. I mean, the guy had veins poking through a basic training sweatsuit. I could beat him on everything at first. And then probably within 6 months, I never beat him on anything ever again. It's almost like, you got to prove that you want it, man. It's just having that heart to never give up.
In the was a slaughterhouse, wasn't it?
That was the one in Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine, okay.
Russia.
Yeah, Russia. It was in a slaughterhouse, wasn't it? And I remember Kevin Horton told me the story of how all the carpet tiles were stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, you get used to all these different kind of venues, you know.
Yeah.
And there was one show that was in a big top.
Yeah.
And it was probably like the worst show ever. Mm-hmm. You imagine being outside in the summertime in a tent, no air conditioning, and you are trying to put on oil and it just running everywhere because you're sweating so much.
Yeah.
And then you go on stage and it's hot already. You go on stage, you get hit with these massive lights that makes it even harder.
Well, you dry out though.
And you cannot stop the sweat.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst shows ever. Nothing like that.
But thing is, on those tours, what was it like trying to? I remember 1995 or 96, the British Grand Prix, and there was Paul Dillette, Aaron Baker, Vince Taylor, and they were all ordering like burgers and fries and like whatever, you know. And I remember because I heard the story about how you made sure you got all your food. You were cooking your food in your room where the guys were just grabbing burgers and sandwiches, whatever. And you were like, "No, I'm gonna stay on my diet. I'm gonna try and pip these guys." And is that really how you managed to pull head?
Yeah, I did. I don't know where I got the food from. I think one of the guys that were he had his own gym. I forget his name. He had his own gym. And he would cook our food for us.
Okay.
And he would go out to the store and he would buy it and cook it. It was diet. Some other guys would, you know, like me, I would eat it, you know, and take it with me to the next whatever. And that's how I survived. By I forget the guy's name. I hate it's been so long ago. But it was like 95, 96.
Yeah.
And everybody was eating burgers and everything, and this guy went decided to stay on his diet too, and he went and bought a chicken and rice and all that kind of stuff, and he cooked it for us. Some of the guys like me, you know, and stayed on the diet. Some of the guys like, no, I ain't that.
Yeah.
But that's how I stayed ahead of some of the guys too.
Yeah. So going back to the Arnold Classic, what did you think? Because I remember we spoke at the outside the Olympia in 2017, and I remember the two bodybuilders you were impressed with were William Bonac and Big Rami. Now they were both on stage at the Arnold Classic. What did you think about them on how they looked 2 weeks ago?
Well, William I thought looked pretty good. He was the only one that I really saw that was in real good condition.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they were kind of like average to me or whatever. I mean, they didn't seem like nobody really came to compete with him as far as conditioning goes. But William looked really good to me, but he was really the only one. And I guess judges agreed since he won.
So, you had... what about Dexter Jackson? Because there's a guy that his first Arnold Classic was in 1999. Here he is, 21 years later, standing on stage. I mean, I have my own opinion. What was your opinion on how Dexter looked?
I think it's probably one of the most amazing things I ever saw. You know, a guy his age that can really keep it together like that. I mean, man, I still know how he does it, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, looking that good at that age, it just seems unbelievable. I mean, it's almost like a miracle. I don't know how he's able to do it, but it's working for him, and he's doing great. He's up there, you know, top two. You know, top two, 3 in the world, whatever. It's just one of those things that you just shake your head at, you know.
Yeah.
Don't understand it. I know. Everything was gone.
Yeah, there's two. I think there's at least 2 occasions with Dexter where his legs have started to go, and you know they've started to sort of shrink a little bit, and then he comes back on stage this year, and his legs are like back bigger than kind of they've ever been. I mean, how does he do it?
I don't know. It's like I said, it's one of those things. You just shake your head at and don't understand. You know, some things are just not meant to understand. Everybody's body's different, you know. Yeah. And like just a classic case. Because I know when I got that age, I didn't have anything, you know, worth like that. You know, I mean, I couldn't step on nobody's stage at that age.
Also at the Arnold Classic was your good friend Flex Wheeler. Now Flex Wheeler has had his had amputation, wasn't he? And I've seen you've been interacting with him on his Instagram, sending him messages of support. Tell us about have you speak to him regularly, because he's been through a really bad time, hasn't he, Ronnie? You know, like yourself, really.
Yeah, me and Flex have always been real good friends. He's probably one of my best friends in the whole world. You know, Flex pretty much. I remember back in 1993 or 93 or 94 when he won his first Arnold Classic. Is when I went to and had a real serious talk to him, and he gave me a lot of information on, you know, how to be competitive, and, you know, things I needed to do to be competitive. And my whole career, I've gone to him, and he just gave me so much advice, you know, along the way. I kind of like credit him for me winning my first Olympia, because he was the one that told me to go to Chad Nichols. And had I not gone to Chad, I would have never won the Olympia. Because, I mean, Chad just changed everything for me. I mean, my diet, my training, everything changed when I went to him. Yeah. And it changed for better in a major, major way. And it was all because of Flex. Because had Flex not told me to go to him, I would have never got hooked up with him. Never, ever got hooked up with him. At the time, you know, I was working with some other guy, you know, and thought that was the way.
Yeah. So obviously knowing what you've experienced with all your surgeries and all your problems, how have you reached out to Flex? Do you speak regularly, or because I could see that you were really trying to make an effort to try and support him, because, you know, he supported you in those early days, and I can see that he's really looked to you for kind of support and help, really, to get through this really terrible time for him. This last 6 months, it's been very, very hard, hasn't it?
Yeah. But to be honest with you, we've been friends, like real close friends, since, like 95, 96. Yeah. And we've never been out of contact with each other. I mean, Flex has been in my house, you know, and everything. And he stayed here at my house and everything. I stayed at his house. And we've been friends this whole time. It didn't just start, you know, when he got sick and went in the hospital. It started way back in, like I said, 95, 96. Yeah. You know, when I went to him and had that first talk with him. And just along the years, we just always stayed in contact with each other and always talked to each other. And it never stopped. You know, every year, I mean, I was at his wedding, you know, and everything, you know. So we've just been real close friends for a very long time. Very, very long time. Like I said, I give him a lot of credit for me being successful in the sport.
Yeah. All right, gotta get pumped up for this one. Whoa! Little Ronnie Coleman? Yeah, buddy! Come on, let's get fired up.
Hey, man, your little Ronnie's hanging out.
Man, don't worry about that. We got McCain. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, buddy!
Sorry, bro, but it's leg day.
Yeah, buddy. Extreme Energy Pre-Workout Powder by Ronnie Coleman. Take a scoop and let your inner Ronnie out.